is going on, everybody, and welcome to another Next podcast. And guys, it has been a crazy week. You know, it's funny. I was putting in the topics earlier today, like early, I think morning-ish or something like that. And I thought we had everything covered. But as soon as you think you have everything covered, the gaming industry says, you know what, hold my beer, and just drops something that I'm like, yo, we got to talk about that. So, yo, we have a crazy show lined up for you guys. Huge shout out to the chat. What is going on, everybody? Good to see so many people in early to check out this show. And I know you guys are hyped. I know you guys are excited. A lot of news came through the pipeline this past week, and I can't wait to get into it with you guys. Before we get into the introductions, if you haven't done it yet, slap that thumbs up button. If you want, thumbs down button as well. You know, keep it fair, keep it balanced. But, yo, let people know where you are right now, what show you're checking out. Of course, you could be listening to it, or you can also be watching it, because we do bring that gameplay as well. But let's get into the intros. And you know what? I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to start with that hardcore Gears fanatic, but like I tell everybody out there, he does play other games. I know. I seen him. Crispy, what is going on, bro?
Oh, what's up, everybody? What is up, chat? I am fired up, ready to roll. Let's go, baby.
Nice, brother. Yo, real quick, before I get to the next intro, shout out to Nipple Pierce. Hold on. Nipple Pierce with skinny jeans. Yo, I'm sorry. But yo, I started cracking up with the name. Yo, great name right there. But yo, shout out to you for hitting up that super chat. Thank you so much. We got to get into the intros. Next on the list, coming straight out of that Twitter jail because he was falsely accused and soon to be the newest member of the Under Par Society, because he is the proud owner of a brand new PGA Tour 2K21. K-Mega, what is going on, bro?
What's going on, everybody? What's happening? Good to be back, even though I was gone for just half a day, but still, I was like, what? But anyway, I'm here. Man, it's exciting times. Doing this tomorrow, GRG, and then of course Sunday. I think Crispy and his homeboy are going to try to be casuals to come on to a Sunday night fight night, because the amount of trash talking that was going on that Sunday night was epic to great proportions, and it was fantastic. So in Mortal Kombat 11, so it was fun, it was great, and so I can't wait to see them guys Sunday. So anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and get this thing jumping, man.
Dude, it's always exciting when we get together for the shows, but especially when gems just drop out of the air, things that we didn't expect to happen, and like huge news. And I can't wait to get into it with you, brother. I do have to go down the panel. Got to get these other fools in here for the intros, and I'm gonna go next to my brother from the Lone Star State. And I'm about to call him kind of like a gamer caregiver for stuff he's been doing behind the scenes when it comes to next-gen consoles and stuff. I'm gonna keep it vague though. My brother Predator, what is up, bro?
Not much, man. Busy week.
Yeah.
A lot of shit going on this week, so we got to talk about it. So let's get it on. Let's get this shit going.
Yeah, no doubt. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat. Yo, hold on real quick. My bad. I dropped something. Yo, he said, gotta get that golf on with K-Mega now, right, Xbox? Yeah, definitely, dude. Definitely. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be fun times, man. Yo, get him in there, Sir X-Man. We get Vertigo in there. Everybody just talking crap and having fun. I think it's gonna be a good time, man. K-Mega, I think you're gonna like the game, man. That's all I gotta say. But,
okay.
Yo, next on the list, of course, is my West Coast brother, the man who is single-handedly trying to save the world for the 152nd time. Knoxximus, what's up, bro?
What's up, man? I have one question. Can I come back to Xbox?
Nope.
Can I come back, man?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You're
I can't come
allowed.
back.
You're allowed.
Oh,
You're allowed.
wow.
I can't come
Nope.
back.
You're allowed.
Oh, man.
Nope.
Brother,
Too bad, because I'm going to buy that shit either way.
Oh!
You can buy it, but you playing by yourself. Don't hit me
No,
up.
no, you're not. No.
I'm gonna ignore you.
Dark, you can hit me up anytime, bro.
Hey,
Yo,
I'm
hold
gonna make
on,
sure I
hold on,
put a doo-doo-doo on my Xbox for any of these perpetrators.
You see Dark Animus, you're going to be like, man, fuck that piece of shit. Get him out.
As soon as you join the party, it's gonna be Satan.
Yo, guys, I think we should bring this to the chat. Yo, chat, people out there in the chat, if you are ready to play games with Knoxximus on the next generation Xbox, hit 1. If you say hell no, you're playing by yourself because you were so much in favor of PlayStation, hit 2. And Dark, just watch the chat to see what they do. 1 is I'll play with man. Dark, and 2 is hell no, he done screwed up.
I want to see the hell knows, man. I want to see that shit. Yeah.
Yo, you guys are already on fire. This is gonna be a crazy show. Yo. Crazy.
Mega. He's like, hell no.
Can't come back. That's what my boy wanted. That's what boy 100 said. Can't come back.
I'm seeing a lot of ones right now.
Oh man.
Yo, that's what it is. Yo, the Xbox community, we are very welcoming. You know, when it comes to playing games with people, I feel like the Xbox community is second to none in terms of bringing people in, getting them into parties, playing games together. One of the main reasons why Xbox is my preferred console is because of that fact, and I call it a fact because anytime you look, any PlayStation guys are like, yo, I got an Xbox. You'll see a whole, like on Twitter, you'll see a whole thread of people putting in their gamer tag saying, yo, we got to play sometime, stuff like that. Shout out to them
being like, you can't come over here. You can't play games over here on Xbox.
Well, no, but sharing their gamer tags and letting them know, like, hey, come play with us, even though you're talking shit.
I'm not talking about the community. I'm talking about the radicals, the ones that are out there rocker somewhere in fucking La La Land, like K Mega.
Yeah. I want to give a quick shout out real quick. One of the twins is in the chat right now. Yo, shout out to Seth, aka Skater something. He's in here. If you see the word skater right there.
Atomic Skater?
Yes, Atomic Skater. Yo, shout out to Atomic Skater. Yo, what is going on? Good to see you in the chat. And I know you're probably in the living room downstairs right now. But yo, shout out to you. Shout out to Sir X-Man. Yo, hitting up a whole bunch of ones and saying anytime. See, that's what I'm saying. The community is like that, man. Community is like that. But guys, we got to get into topics. And since I put out there on Twitter that we're going from A to Z, I think we need to start with Amazon. So I'm going to pull up my Twitter real quick just to get the bullet points here, because Amazon announced that they are getting into cloud gaming, streaming games via the cloud. It's something that we have heard for the last, I would say, couple years or so, that they were going to get in on this. And of course, we heard Phil Spencer talking about, Xbox competition and stuff. And as you can see right now, we already have Google Stadia. We already have, like, xCloud is out in the wild now. And now Amazon is putting their fighter in the ring. And just real quick, I just want to hit the bullet points for on this streaming service. It is going to be, the introductory price is going to be $5.99 per month. They're talking about 4K, 60 frames per second on selected titles. And it's going to be coming to the PC, Mac, iOS, and later on Android. More than 100 games will be available. It says powered by, I think it's Amazon Worldwide Studios, which Amazon does have gaming studios. They even have a couple games out there in the wild. And Twitch integration, which, really reminds me of Stadia with YouTube integration. So, you know what? Let me go to Crispy first on this one. I'm real interested to hear what Crispy has to say about this. You know, we've heard about this for a while. We've heard that Amazon was planning to do this, all this good stuff. You know, you take a look at the controller. I see the price point, 100 games, stuff like that. What do you think about this announcement when it comes to Amazon and cloud gaming? Just give us kind of like your general thoughts when you heard about this, bro.
I was like, yeah, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go, because they watch what Xbox is doing, and they are in some way copying it, and they're copying it in their own way. They have the server farms, okay, people.
Yes.
They really they have better server farms,
web
than
services.
Xbox.
And
web services.
No, my
yes.
bad. Amazon Web Services. That would be the server farms.
Yeah.
Okay.
AWS, yeah. And then they, you know, a lot of even, you know, Microsoft stuff has used them at times. So it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. A lot of people are ignoring it and just like writing it off. It is the reason why Phil said our real competition is Google and Amazon. You know, the only thing that Xbox has going for it right now is the amount of studios they have. And I think this is like perfect timing. This is exactly what you would expect.
Hold on, Xbox has studios? What are you? Nah, I'm just playing. Keep going, yeah. Just play.
Yeah, well, apparently to some people they don't, but yeah. So you know, we got to realize that. I almost feel like the Bethesda thing is Bethesda because you know they're a private company where they saw the writing on the wall, you know, and I feel like PlayStation with their rebranding to PS Game Studio, you know what I mean? That's something that they did on purpose. They're all seeing the writing on the wall that things are changing. People are getting in the gaming space more, and Amazon is a juggernaut. We all know this.
They got deep pockets, bro. Deep
pockets. So I am glad to see Bethesda's going to Xbox and not anybody else. I'm just going to say that. And I feel like Amazon, I feel like a lot of these Fortune 500 large companies, Microsoft, Amazon, you know, I feel like Apple's kind of just teetering around. I feel like that's why they haven't allowed xCloud on the iOS, because maybe they have a little backdoor deal with Amazon.
Well, yeah, no, real quick, because that is one of the interesting points right here is that Luna will be available on iOS, and we all know what was going on with, you know, Apple and what was it, Fortnite, and then of course with Microsoft and kind of like Apple's like, oh, we need to rate each and every game, and they're not really about that streaming service unless it's their own. Dude, do you think that there's some type of like agreement behind closed doors or something for that?
I mean, the writing's on the wall. It's in my face, and I say yes. I feel like, you know, because Apple and Microsoft have always had this huge, strong rivalry. Like you would think it would be Microsoft against all the. No, Apple and Microsoft don't like each other. They just don't. It goes back to you know the 80s, the 70s. Like this is you know a rivalry that has continued throughout the generations, and now that you know. Apple wants to get in the gaming space, but they're not quite ready like Amazon. I think Amazon's been stewing on this for a while. We've seen them do, you know, hire people, you know, make purchases, things like that. I think they're going to do it a way that Google should have done it, and now
I was just going to say. I think Amazon. The reason why it took so long is because they wanted to kind of, you know, even without the hardware, because there is a controller. You know, black and purple.
Looks like an Xbox controller.
Well, it also looks like, you know, a Nintendo Pro controller as well. You know, I'm saying like
it also looks like a Stadia controller.
Yeah, well, it looks better than a Stadia controller, but that's just me personally. But Crispy, like I think that Amazon took so long because they wanted to get it right, knowing that they weren't coming out with hardware.
Precisely. Yeah. I mean, it makes total sense. So, you know, I'm unfortunately going to say this. PlayStation, you got to move quicker than this because you're going to be in trouble. And I only say that because they're not one of these huge, ginormous companies. And at this point, I'm rooting for PlayStation. They got to figure it out quick. I want them to figure it out. I really do. Because if they don't, there's going to be trouble. They're like sharks in the water, these huge companies. And you just saw it with Microsoft with their announcement. And now you see Amazon right after that announcement with this announcement. And these companies could buy you. Think about that.
That's not legal. Oh, the company. Okay, buy the company. I'm like, yo, you can't buy people. That's not legal.
Why? What is? Where did you go with that? I don't even know.
Yo, shout out to Mighty Keith, the YouTuber, because he even said, he's like, that they got that I can buy you money. He's like, but that's not legal. You know what I'm saying? That's where I got it from. Yo, my bad. My bad. Shout out to the Mighty Keith though.
But I think Phil saw the writing on the wall a long time ago, and I think he's just going to start looking really, really smart. And that's something that, even Satya, the way he's acting about it, like gaming is just continuing to grow. And the one thing Microsoft has going for them is they've really invested in R&D, and they've really invested in the servers and everything else. So I think it's a big deal.
I hear what you're saying, man, and you're making total sense. We're gonna calm down, kind of like with the Microsoft thing, because we got a lot more Microsoft and Xbox to talk about. I know we have to talk about it because competitors, cloud gaming, and all that good stuff. But I'm gonna bring it to Predator, man. I've been waiting to hear Predator talk about topics all week, yo. My brother Pred, we got Amazon announcing cloud gaming. What was your thoughts, man? What was going through your head? $5.99 a month. I think they got a good price point going here. But what do you think in general, man?
I'm not about that life, man. I understand they're trying to get into the streaming service, and I said the same thing with Stadia. Like, there's no physical hardware. No one's going to get involved in that ecosystem because we have those games already. We've got all those games they're coming out with. We already have on our consoles. We're already playing it on xCloud. It's part of our service that we get with Game Pass, etc. So, like, why would I go to a streaming service like that when I can just play the game already?
Yo, Pred, real quick, with you saying that, like, because we know Stadia came out without hardware. They have the controller. Now you see Luna without hardware. It has the controller. Hold that thought real quick, because I got to just catch up to these super chats. Yo, shout out to Sir X-Man. That Razer controller for xCloud is legit, brother. I have not tried it, but I'm pretty sure you have one or two. That is freaking awesome, man. Yo, shout out to you. Shout out to Erodimus, yo, hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother. He says iOS on the browser. It is a PWA that bypasses the App Store. Huh, interesting, man. And I don't know what a PWA is, so that is even more interesting. But let me get back to you, Pred, because these big companies, they're coming out with no hardware, cloud streaming. This is the future. Then you look at like xCloud, which it's going to be cloud streaming, but they have a piece of hardware that is attached to it as an option. Do you think like that hardware? Because you said this isn't your life. This isn't the life that you would live, gaming or whatnot. Do you think that piece of hardware, like should these companies have come out with some type of set box or something like that to have that option in there to make their streaming more viable and kind of spread across like a bigger community?
I do, but I think, like I was saying this before, and I said that when Stadia account, I mean, there's only room for 3. I mean, if you think about it, once you get to 4, 5, 6, like it's like people are gonna pick 2 consoles. They're gonna get a primary and a secondary, and for most people, the secondary. If you're an Xbox guy, your secondary is a Switch. If you're a Sony guy, your secondary is a Switch, or vice versa. Like you get what you need out of both of those. Having that third option, unless you're just a hardcore gamer, you want everything. Everything isn't going to consist of Stadia or what is Luna. It's just not. It's not going to. It's never going to be successful because we have so many other avenues to play games. And keep in mind, Stadia, I deem that as a failure right now. No one's even talking about that right now. And it came out with a lot of hype, a lot of promise, 4K, 120 frames per second. And I don't ever think I don't remember seeing anybody like hyping that or playing a game in 4K, 120 on Stadia. Maybe.
I mean, when it comes to Stadia, one thing they did come out with a lot of like, you know, trying to hype it up, trying to market it out, a lot of promises. I think the thing that kind of strangled it out a lot was the promises that they didn't keep, the promises that they said, and they didn't give kind of like a time for those like features to come in or anything. So a lot of people were thinking at launch, so they bought founders packs and stuff. Yeah. And then, you know, I think it was the promises that they didn't keep or they kind of put on hold that kind of killed that thing. Yeah,
and I think Luna with Amazon will be a little bit better at that. And the good part is they kind of sat back and watched to see how that's going to work out with Google, and they were able to kind of correct those mistakes. But I mean, we ain't seen nothing yet. Show us some gameplay. I'm sure it's going to work. It's like Stadia works. But that's not your typical ideal way to play a game. Sorry. I mean, like streaming is fun. It's cool to do when you're taking a shit. But, you know, long term, people want to see everybody
talk about streaming and taking a shit.
Because like you're doing something like, okay, like look at it this way. All right. I get up in the morning. I go to work. When I do go to work anyway, I drive my car to work. I can't play a video game then. Like, when are you going to play this? Usually when you're commuting or you're sitting on the couch watching TV. But if you're home, you're just going to use your console. If you don't have anything to play and this is what you got a laptop and you can pop that bad boy up, whatever, or a tablet or your phone, then fine, it'll work. But why put your money into something like that that's kind of untested when you have a PlayStation, you have an Xbox, you have a Switch out there already? It's just, to me, I think, you come out with 100 games that everybody's already played. And for a new console, you need a new banger. You need some game to play. Everything that they have is multi-plats right now. And they don't have the backing like Microsoft has. They have studios under their belt. Sony has studios under their belt. Amazon may have one or two, but what games do we see from them? So they launched this without a game, kind of like this generation with the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, like limited availability of new titles to kind of draw you into it. And it's even harder because now it's streaming. It isn't like a traditional console, you know? So I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's going to pan out. I think it would then, you know, I'll give it the good 2-year try and see what happens. I have a feeling like if they are successful, then one of the two is going to go away. Google Stadia or Amazon's going to go away.
I think Stadia is a lot closer to going away. Yeah,
they see that it's not working. So I don't have any faith in streaming as a primary console, and because of that, or should I say, a primary way to play games, and because there's so many other options out there that people already know or are used to, it's going to be hard to sway people into that. And even the people like, I mean, we've seen it. People will hype it up for like the first month. Oh, it's awesome. It's cool. And then we'll be like, yo, hop on Destiny with us. Well, I can't. I'm playing on Google Stadia. You know, I can't chat with you guys. I can't do this with you guys. So they got Ubisoft under them too, helping them. But I think Ubisoft is trying to get a piece of that pie. And if it does hit, it's like an investment for them. If it does hit and it's very successful, they can say they were there first. But it's going to be real interesting to see if anybody else jumps on that bandwagon with them. So yeah, not interested. Sorry, guys.
I don't know, but like I said, I think it's gonna be more viable than, you know, Stadia. I think that, you know, they have a better, well-rounded plan when it comes to it than unfortunately Google had. And I think the big thing about Google was they wanted to be first. They thought that, you know, hitting the finish line first, they were automatically the winner. But then, you know, their promises started adding, you know, their broken promises started to add times onto their lap, and before you know it, they're in 3rd or 4th place. I gotta hit up the super chat, and I gotta say, with hitting up the super chat, I'm glad it came now, because the next person I'm going to, you'll find out. Shout out to Y9 Power hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother, for the support. Definitely appreciate it. He says, dude, I'll admit I doubt, but You predicted Fortnite. You predicted Lockhart. You predicted other big news. Awesome. Can't wait to hear what's next. And brother, I salute you, bro, because you know, I don't go out there and shout about it. And one thing I want to say is on this show, I am not the only one that predicted all these things. My brother K Mega was right there next to me, and we both. It was like I remember the shows. It was like, dude, you're like reading my mind right now. We would go back and forth saying that because we were on point with that stuff. And one thing I will say about this show might be the best kept secret in the community when it comes to game podcasts, because we talk about things weeks and months before they drop. Stuff like that. So shout out to you for the recognition, yo. And I gotta say, it's K Mega as well, and the rest of this panel with the topics that come up in the DM, what we put out there, what we kind of brainstorm to bring to you guys for entertainment. It's what it's all about. So K Mega, first off, yo, I gotta say that super chat was as much dealing with you as it was dealing with me. And I know you know that, man. So I don't know if you want to say anything to him. But then after that, get into your thoughts about Amazon's announcement today, bro.
Oh, man. I mean, it was a great comment. You know, I mean, I'm not going to take away your shine, but I do appreciate the kind words, man. It's always appreciated.
You were right
brother.
there with me, though, brother. Like, I'm not lying.
No. You was. But regardless, I mean, but it's, you know what I'm saying? It's humbling as well, you know. I mean, but you know, the person was directing it to you. And so, you know, I mean, kudos to you know, great minds think alike, brother. That's just what we do.
That's what we do.
So anyway, and I mean, and everybody on the panel. I mean,
Yes.
So it's just what it is. But all right, so this is the thing. I gotta go against my boy Pred. On pretty much everything that he said.
Fuck you.
So this is the thing. This is the thing. Like mostly everybody on this panel is going to be kind of like, you know, it's just not for me. It's just not my cup of tea. It's not this and that. It's not aiming for us. It's aiming for the people that's like all of a sudden who just got a resurgence of something that is completely new, and it's exhilarating to like Sir X-Man, who's over here just constantly talking about xCloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also talking to that younger generation who is always on the go. And when you look at the statistics between the Switch, they are out. It's off dock more than it is docked. So that means that thing is traveling around somewhere. So it's even if they're taking a shit, or if they're just sitting on the couch, or if they're going somewhere with their friends, and then if they're sitting at you know, if they're sitting and waiting for somebody because they're at the store, or if they get something to eat, whatever. As long as they have that thing on them and they can just pull it out and play with it, it doesn't matter if it's for 5 minutes or if it's for 5 hours.
Say that again.
Yeah, I knew
5.
Pred was going to try. I knew it, Pred. I knew it.
What'd you say? What? Say what?
Pull it out and do what? Keep going.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah,
Stop it. Stop
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
Pause. Anyway,
5 minutes? Oh, thanks.
Anyway, for 5 minutes or for 5 hours, baby. Anyway, so that's the thing. Is where
And you really like pulling it out, don't you?
I do actually. Ooh, yes.
Oh,
So I might have it out now.
wow.
But anyway, I see my girl Foxy in here. So anyway,
Yo, shout out to Foxy. It is good to see you,
Foxy.
lady.
But this is the thing too, though. You know, I am not in that standard of saying like, oh man, as much as I enjoy xCloud, I'm not on xCloud all that much because I am a traditional, you know, console gamer. But the times that I have used xCloud, it wowed me like, damn, this how good and responsive that it is. It just amazes you. And then when you show it to other people, they may be in the same spot, but then again, they're kind of like, man, you know what, this is really dope. So this is more for the generation past, Generation X. You know, this is for the people. This is for the millennials and
my
beyond.
17-year-old, the 12-year-olds, like
yes. Like the multitasking that these kids can do is outrageous. It's insane. So it's like it's the time for. And I posted this today. I said, look, this is the new evolution of gaming. This is far beyond the consoles now. This game now, where we're at, it's far beyond it. It's something that me, you, Bot, and other people on the panel have just said. gaming is now thriving and going to a whole nother direction that none of us imagined just at the beginning of the 360's life cycle, the PlayStation 3 or the Nintendo. When it got to this point, when I really first understood it, is when they start talking about games going on PC. And instead of all that being looked at as something negative, it's now being looked at as, you know what, that's not so. From Xbox fans now, it's like, hey, I don't have a problem with it. For PlayStation fans that were so adamant that it wasn't going to happen, to now saying, well, you know, it's not so bad. It's this reason or that reason. It's the same with streaming. And they will have games. Matter of fact, I just got something where, and I signed up for it. You know, it asks you about, it asks you, you know, what's your megabits per second and all that stuff. Your uptime, your all that stuff.
Your internet
so I gave that.
And all that
Yeah. So ask you all that type of information and how what kind of gamer you are and stuff like that. So, you know, we'll find out, you know, what if I'll get a chance to test it out or not. But it also, you got to pay attention to the $5.99 fee. That's just the startup. This thing is going to be linked to their Amazon Prime, you know, somewhere down the line to where they kind of blend it together. That's going to be the main goal. But also, it's been confirmed that Valhalla is going to be one of those games that's going to be on there. So it's not going to be just simple old games that we're talking about. And this is why Microsoft is jumping and actually being very aggressive, more aggressive than we've ever seen. It's because they're like, look, because Amazon and Stadia, and we know that Google has got money that's outrageous. We know Amazon got money outrageous. It is no thing for them to say, you know what, I'm going to pick up Konami, I'm going to pick up this, I'm going to pick up that, and I'm going to pick up 2K. With the drop of the dime, there's, you know, people are looking at Microsoft's money, but there's bigger money, and that's from Google and from Amazon. So so Xbox at this point in time has to be aggressive, and Crispy is right. PlayStation's going to have to get with it. PlayStation made the wrong turn when they went all out for VR. I think that they start seeing this new era and writing on the wall, so they tried to hold on to the traditional way, and then they said, look, we'll go a whole other direction because none of these other companies really caring about VR, and we're going to do this, and we're going to have the winning ticket with that. And now they're seeing that, I mean, we're not even hearing anything about VR. So now they're going to have to pick it up, make some changes, get with somebody, and try to get PS Now.
They already got with the Azure cloud system, so you know what I'm saying.
Well, I know, and they started off before anybody else. If you really wanted to be honest, I mean, they were the first ones with PS Now, but they got greedy. You know, that's the thing. What I was trying to say last week when I was saying, they're all the kissing their ass. They're giving them all this praise. Nobody's giving Sony no criticism for anything. None. And we knew that the prices were so ballooned and so crazy with PS Now. If they said something about it then, and then if Sony looked at EA Access instead of people saying that EA Access was going to die and go away like the plague, then maybe Sony would have made the right decisions and then did something different with PlayStation Now. But instead, nobody didn't tell them that they were doing anything wrong.
Yo, Mega. When it comes to PlayStation Now, I have a theory on that, and I'm just going to run it by you real quick. You can share quick thoughts. Now, with PlayStation, because coming out of the PS3 era, they took a major hit financially, and you know, people were asking questions. You know, are they going to turn it around? All that good stuff, and they did bounce back at the end of the generation with PS3, but there was a lot of dents in that armor where I feel like Sony was really kind of like they were all in on this generation. Anything goes, anything to gain momentum. This generation was what they were going to do. And I think what happened is, even though they started up with PlayStation Now, and you're right, the prices were astronomical. They were crazy. When Microsoft switched up their tone and they started talking about like Game Pass and all that good stuff, I think because they had all their chips in on making this an ultra successful generation for the PlayStation, they had to market against what they thought was their competition, possibly sacrificing some of the long road. Does that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. I mean, look, I mean, it's been 7 years. So again, Sony has been kicking Xbox ass all 7 years. So when you're in this position, you dictate how everything works. And even while Sony was saying one thing, they were watching Microsoft, and while Microsoft was in the position that they were, they still weren't just fading away and just died off like most companies do when they're left. Like the Wii U, Nintendo kind of just went out, just went away. Like that, nobody didn't even talk about the Wii U like that. So, but Microsoft still always had something for somebody to talk about that wasn't so bad. It's kind of interesting. And then next thing you know, here we are. They put all their ducks in a row. They had to eat. They had to eat this generation, and now they have the puzzle piece. They have the final puzzle piece set, and now the only thing they're going to do now is just go. Sony, on the other hand, they have everything that they've had from the last gen, but as you see, everything around them is changing.
Yes.
So they're going to have to evolve with everybody else, or they're going to be put in a position to where it's kind of like Nintendo. You know, PlayStation ain't going to ever really go away, but PlayStation is just not going to be as viable as though what Amazon, because like I said, people keep talking about Stadia, right? And it's about to be gone as finito Titans. It only takes one purchase of one company that people love, like a CD Projekt Red or anything else, and that's it. That's it. Like people are gonna start paying attention.
There's a new battle in the gaming industry, man,
yes.
and we're seeing it kind of like evolve and take place like right in front of our eyes. This is you don't get a chance to see this too often when it comes to an industry,
we've been
man.
Saying it too, man. We've been saying it.
Yeah, we have.
We have, dude. Like
we have like the
crazy,
evolution of gaming. Yeah, the evolution of gaming is far more greater than what anybody was anticipating, and even PC fans now are kind of like, whoa, like what's going on? And so then this whole thing with the game streaming, if this thing starts taking off, and then next thing you know, they're going to be at like an E3, or they'll start having their conferences, and people start gravitating to some of the stuff they do. Yes, they will buy some studios, and if they make a hot game that takes off like something that PlayStation used to bring out, or like the next Halo, or the next Fall Guys, or PUBG, or any type of game in that specter, then I guarantee you they're going to be a factor. And with that money that they have, they can sustain the loss. Now, I get a lot of people say that Google just gives up on all this thing, but this is not a like Xbox been saying, what Google has said. This is a marathon. This isn't about trying to be first for the next 2 or 3 years. This is something that's going to keep going until probably another decade. So just get ready. This ride is wild, man. But I'm excited for it because this just broadened the gap for where gamers from all over the world can actually start playing together. So I don't know. It's fantastic.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely, man. Awesome to hear your thoughts on that. Yo, a couple of super chats real quick, and then I will get to my West Coast brother. Of course, Dark. I never forget you, bro. I never forget you. I know you're next.
You forgot me a couple times, dude.
I need to see the tapes on that. But shout out,
man, I need 'em.
Shout out to Sir X-Man. He says, tell Predator he can play xCloud on his PC too. See, look at that. Everybody wins. Predator,
he's tripping. Hold on, I got one more thing before you go to Otter. I just wanted to give you the definition of what the PWA is. It says it's a progressive web application, is a type of application software delivered through the web, built using common web technologies, including HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. It is intended to work on any platform that is used as a standard compliant browser.
Okay, awesome. You know what's funny? You and Erodimus probably need to talk, because Erodimus also gave me the definition in the chat as well. And
okay.
No, but because of you guys, I have a better understanding. And you know me, K-Mega, if I don't know something, I will research it until I know. You know what I'm saying? So now...
Right. I needed to know what it was, too, because when he said it, I was like,
what?
It's not NWA. What's the BWA?
I know what NWA stands for.
Yeah, right. I'm like, hold on. Is this some white boy trying to talk shit on here? I'm playing this guy.
I know them damn white people, man.
God damn it.
Damn white people and their potato salad. Yo, shout out to the friendly neighborhood blue shell, brother. Always good to see you in the chat, and always, as always, thank you for the support. He said this is for K Mega's funeral in Halo Infinite, and he said thanks for the podcast, brother. Definitely appreciate that. I think he's talking smack to K Mega real quick though.
Bro,
So
I'll see you and you'll get these hands.
No, he's telling you to pay for K Mega's funeral.
Oh, wow, you don't want me to do that. It'll be bad, yo. Shout out to ATL hitting up that super chat. He said, think about how content creators in the movie industry blew up due to all the streaming apps. The content war for devs and studios is coming. And brother, you are being a prophet right now. That is a prophecy right there that I feel is gonna happen within the industry. Yo, shout out to Doggy Dog hitting up that super chat. Thank you, brother, for the support. He says showing some love for my brother Xbot448. And brother, we are all here on the panel showing you love back. Definitely appreciate that. So let's get to the Angry Otter, Dark Optimus, my West Coast brother. This is gonna be interesting, but dude, what did you think about the Amazon announcement and kind of like seeing these, we have Google in there when it comes to streaming games, cloud streaming. We have Microsoft in there with Xbox and xCloud, and now you have Amazon. Kind of like the big hitters are really entering the gaming world, the gaming industry right now. What did you think when Amazon made that announcement today, man?
The thing I gotta say is that Apple backed the wrong horse, man. They backed the wrong horse. Because you know why? I think xCloud's gonna do a lot of shit that people haven't seen yet. Because I mean, it's already added to the Game Pass thing. So I mean, like that helps out a lot, quite a bit, a lot more. Because honestly, there's a lot of people out there that are huge Bethesda fans. I'm just saying, because we're going to be talking about that later. But they're huge Bethesda fans. I think
a couple people like that studio.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. A couple people like that studio, and most of those games are going to Game Pass, and guess what? They're probably going to be on xCloud as well. So, I think some of these companies are going to back the wrong horse, and I wish the luck to Amazon. I don't think Amazon will do the same numbers as Google Stadia. I think honestly Google Stadia they should just bow out, because honestly Amazon and xCloud, I feel like those are going to be the two big streaming services, is that Amazon and xCloud. But what Amazon really needs to do at this point is get some AAA, or even just like some sort of exclusive game on that little service.
Well, just real quick, like K Mega said, like with what's coming up, and again, this is brand new when it comes to the gaming industry, but he was talking about Google Stadia, and he said all it takes is for them to open up their wallet and buy a studio, a well-known studio or something like that. So
but that's the thing. I don't know if a lot of these studios are going to go, because I mean, it kind of proved it this week and last week that people aren't ready for this type of thing. They still want consoles.
Yeah.
There's people out there that want the console. They want that physical media. So,
dude, when
it's hard to pull, I think, a lot of people into this. I mean, especially like xCloud is going to be huge, man. I mean, that service is going to be so huge, because Game Pass, and then they, the studios that they got right now, it's basically a juggernaut, man. Honestly, it's a juggernaut, and people are. Yeah,
Listen to this, boy.
He's like,
I'm telling you, man.
You're
I'm
making
telling
me
you.
proud, bro.
he's like, I'm back, guys. I'm back.
No, we're gonna see some stuff, man. I mean, it's this generation of consoles and this generation of just gaming and period is gonna be insane.
You know,
I mean,
I think more in terms of gaming because like
yeah, gaming. It's gonna be gaming. It's not gonna be about TV and all that bullshit. It ain't gonna be about it's not gonna be about freaking music and all that stuff. It's gonna be about games.
Well, no, the reason
period.
why I said that is because like you said consoles and stuff, but what we're seeing. We're seeing gaming. We're seeing the technology and how games are brought to the gamer change dramatically. Keeping the console stuff like that, but now with the streaming to your phones, like high quality games, console games.
That's the thing. Like the beginning of last generation, like a lot of people were upset about the DRM and stuff like that with the Xbox. And guess what? What happened? We're in that generation right now. Like we're there. Like.
Dude, can you say that again for the people out there, because that was truth.
We're there.
Man.
We're there, man. We're there with the freaking with the whatever I said. I don't
DRM.
DRM, man.
Didn't we talk about this back when we were on? Yeah, we was on Next, on GRG, on BGST. Didn't we make this point that look, there's already DRM in games now,
and it's just gonna be more.
It's gonna be more.
It's gonna be more, and it's even more now that we have these streaming services. I honestly cannot see Google Stadia surviving this, just because I think for pretty much just the way that Amazon does their dealings and does their business, it's honestly, I think they'll know a little bit more about gaming than Google does. Google don't know shit about fucking gaming. They don't know nothing about that stuff. They wanted to. I think they really just wanted to be the first ones to do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't even think they even care that they're gonna make.
They don't really know what they're doing. They thought they hired somebody who did, but
yeah. They thought they hired somebody but we all knew. All of us gamers knew. All of us gamers were like, "Nah, man, you got the wrong guy." and you know what? I think with the consoles, I mean, you never know. In like 2 or 3 years, we might just be seeing streaming going.
That's the long term kind of like view on a lot of these companies. But
I mean, do I like it? Do I think
no.
Am I the one that's going to be like, oh yeah, I want streaming? No, I'm more of one of those people that's like, I want the physical box. I want I like being able to hook it up to my TV.
Dark wants the physical box, by the way.
Oh man. Oh jeez.
You gotta have something to look at, right?
Oh, wow.
It's true. Yeah, man. No.
All right. Let me quicken up the pace here real quick. Hold on, yo. Shout out to Sir X-Man hitting up that super chat. He said, "K Mega, I can play No Man's Sky in the xCloud, man." Yo, Mega, you are right, man.
I thought he was gonna say I could play No Man's Sky blindfolded. I was gonna be like, damn.
Yeah, no. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're gonna get gamers like that. Like, it wows you. It is a whole different animal. Like, and I agree with Otter like 100%. Like, it's going to set pace. The only thing that I will add to this though is that, man, once they put that this new Amazon thing with their whatever, what is that?
Prime.
Amazon Prime? Prime?
Yeah.
Bro. They that's what they have over 100.
Because Prime, you get express shipping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Would you pay the extra $5? Would you pay the extra $6 a month just to have it?
I would, and there will be a lot of people that will do that because look, there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
You got we're thinking as Americans instead of thinking about somebody that's from another country. Right. That if like a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox or a Nintendo is going to cost like damn near $1,000. You know what I'm saying?
That's
To own.
true, man.
You know what I'm saying? So like if they already got Amazon Prime and they just got to pay an extra $5 to have access to games, they're going to jump all over
AAA
that.
games.
Yeah, and then if these companies buy a studio on top of that, that's well known, or that's just known enough to that they they like some of those games, then it's a win for them because they have so many people up under their umbrella with Amazon Prime. They're already ahead of the curve, even over Xbox at this point.
I wouldn't go that far. I would not go that far because
I'm talking about the customer
base.
Yes,
yeah, the customer
yes.
base. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But like in terms of just like sheer games, no,
not the game. That's what I'm saying. Xbox better keep being aggressive, keep doing what the hell they're doing. Amazon ain't gonna keep. Yeah. If people start resonating to this, it's gonna be. Anyway, let me shut up.
Nice, guys. And Dark, unless you have any like kind of like final words, like because we do have more to talk about. Like
no, dude, let's keep it going,
right,
man.
Let's drop the bomb because that's what Xbox did this week. It's funny because
dude, they dropped 2 bombs.
well, let's get into the big one.
We got one in here though.
No, I mean they dropped 2 bombs just by doing 1 bomb.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, just 2 at once. But for anybody who does not know, Xbox made an acquisition this week. It's actually not finalized until next year, by the way, which, I don't want to jump the gun. There's a lot of paperwork in this. But within this, Xbox and Microsoft have bought ZeniMax. And for people who don't know who ZeniMax is the parent company of Bethesda, which also includes studios like, of course, Bethesda Softworks, Arcane, ID Software. So,
id Software.
I call them ID. They're actually one of my favorite third-party. Well, I should change that now, but they were one of my favorite third-party developers.
As they should be. They're fucking fantastic.
Yeah, they are absolutely incredible, creating their own engines and everything. But a huge amount of studios, world-renowned. Everybody knows about Bethesda. Everybody knows about the titles that come out, whether it's Elder Scrolls, whether it's Fallout, or you go into Doom. There's a fan base for Dishonored. Like this ZeniMax was a huge get for Xbox and Microsoft, to the point where they spent over $7.5 billion on this deal. And I swear, social media, Twitter, Facebook, the entire gaming industry completely blew up at this announcement. And the funny thing was, people were thinking that, Xbox wasn't done acquiring studios because, they acquired Obsidian, Double Fine, Ninja Theory. They grabbed quite a few studios before this kind of like mega purchase, and nobody saw this coming. Anytime people were predicting, they were predicting maybe one studio and stuff like this, and Microsoft's like, I can see Microsoft and Xbox looking at Twitter like, oh, one studio, right? One studio? Yeah, hold my beer, because it's about to go down. And you know what? I know everybody wants to go first on this one. I know everybody does, and I'm gonna go to K Mega. I got to, man. He's been with me.
Good choice, though, because he's gonna go forever. So
he's been with me from the beginning, man. It's exciting times.
I won't go so long, but I will go.
Don't listen to Dark. Are you really? He's intimidating.
You do you, K Mega.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
damn.
Thank you.
Shut up, Crispy.
Man.
Yo, Mega, I gotta ask you here, because nobody saw this coming, and when they announced it, again, it was like a bomb drop. The entire gaming industry froze. We had gaming news, like they were rushing to get some content out to talk about this. Like they I think it was Podcast Unlocked went a day earlier than their schedule just to talk about this acquisition. Dude, I gotta ask you, what do you think about this acquisition? there's a lot of things that we could ask about this. Like, what do you think this means here for Xbox, but not just Xbox, but the entire kind of like gaming industry right now?
Well, for one, I'll have to say something that Otter just said was that the competition aspect of this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Um, all narratives has been completely just erased, except for one more thing, which Xbox, I'm pretty sure we'll kind of get to that maybe a little bit later. Xbox has still got more tricks up their sleeve, that's for sure. But there's only one thing left Xbox to do, and that's to really get a Japanese stupid studio. And I understand that Bethesda ZeniMax has a Japanese studio with the people that's making that Tokyo
Tokyo
Ghostwire
GameWorks.
game. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
but no, Xbox ain't playing with that. They want to really go in. So
Or
that's
Tango Game.
yeah. They really they're not done. So but I'm just gonna read off a couple of these games, man. I just have to. And in some of these games that you may never even heard of, but I mean, you got American Pool, you got Malice, you got a High Rollers Casino, you got medieval games, you got the Extreme Bowling, you got All Star Racing, you have Gumball, you have then you move into the good stuff. Then you got Skyrim, Fallout, you got the Elder Scrolls Online, you got Prey, you got Doom, you got Rage, you got the Evil Within, you have Starfield coming, you got Morrowind, you got Fallout Shelter, you have Dishonored, Wolfenstein, Rage, you have there's even more of these. You got Deadloop coming, the Tokyo, you know what I'm saying, the Ghostwire Tokyo game. You got a game called Arena. You got the Drag Race, something that was on the OG Xbox. You have games. You got
We get it.
They
We
even
got
had
game.
hockey. Old school games that I love. Brink. They could bring that bitch back. Rogue Warrior. That game was hot on the 360. I love that game. I tried to play it on the PC, but it's broken. Get that fixed. You got Hunted. You got a game called Hunted. Not 100, but Hunted.
I was thinking that
Steel.
too, man.
Bro, you got a game. I mean, you got Zero Critical. Bro, so many games. Like, there is no question that Xbox, it just off of this one purchase, can do 3 different things. They can give you the filler, and they can give you the huge impact AAA bangers. They can even give you mobile games if they want to. They have every. And then also on top of that, just think about this. The whole generation of the Xbox One era was the least and the most disrespectful to RPGs. Now they are the RPG king.
Ooh.
And I mean, they have
two, baby. Let's see it.
They have Fable. They're gonna have, Skyrim. They're gonna have Fallout. They're gonna have. I mean, like, it's insane. From one point to
just one announcement, man.
Just one announcement did this, and we're not even talking about the other announcements that they have. Like, you got all these studios that's waiting in the wings, and Xbox and everybody was trying to figure out, like, well, I mean, the initiative, right? Like, nobody ain't talking about the initiative because the Bethesda thing is crazy, but you have another triple. This is supposed to be a quadruple A studio that can take all the time that they want now. They don't have to rush anything. You know what I'm saying? Hellblade's Ninja Theory's working on Hellblade. And then on top of all of this, all of these companies that Xbox has under their umbrella, they can give all the passion projects that they want.
Yeah.
Something that
why can they give them passion projects and let them do that? What is the key here?
Game Pass.
Thank you.
Game Pass. Let me make this point clear. All you got to do is just go to an interview. I mean, listen to the interview of Gears Tactics, and they will explain to you why Game Pass is so important, because Gears Tactics, which is a fantastic game. Oh my God, it's so good and deep, and it kind of ties in everything of what's going on with Kate's dad and all that. Oh my goodness, just great. And it's hard to tell. It'll make you cuss that damn game out. And the thing of it is that They said it. They couldn't have made this game if it wasn't for Game Pass. The support from Game Pass is attracting big ass publishers to say, you know what? And if all you got to do also too is listen to the interview with Phil Spencer, the two guys from Bethesda. I apologize,
Todd
I don't know
Howard
you
and
guys.
Pete
Yeah,
Hines.
yeah,
Todd
I
Howard and
apologize,
Pete
I don't know
Hines.
those guys' names. And then Larry Herb, and they just explained like, man, look, we missed out on so many gems ourselves because Game Pass gives so much variety than anything that we've ever seen in our entire lives. There are so many people in gaming right now that sees all these games that's going to be coming out, right? 2021 seems like it's going to be one of the most epic years that we've ever had in gaming with I mean, I'm talking about as a whole, with what PlayStation's bringing, what Xbox is going to be bringing, what Nintendo's going to be bringing, what PC is going to be bringing. It's going to be in what the third party is going to be bringing. It's going to be stupid. And you look at what you can only pick and choose so much. Everybody's wallets. I don't care how much money that you may say that you have. Everybody's got bills to pay. So the majority of us is going to have to pick and choose. But if you have all of these games that's going to be available through Game Pass, that is the right ship. Plus, you have the console that can sit here that you know, and it's. You got the console that is at $300 if you're a budget gamer, and you got the big boy that's at $500, and you got all of these games available at your disposal, and they're already getting started to start throwing these games. Doom Eternal is going to be here October 1st. Like, man. And so my other point that I want to address to this is that I had this conversation with big shout out to my boy Cali Rex. He had me on his podcast again. And man, I can't think of dude's name right now, man. But he was on the show one time. As a PlayStation dude, a really cool guy.
Supernova.
Supernova.
Yeah.
Me and Supernova, and then there was another guy named Wimmy, but he was from like England or somewhere from the UK or whatever. And of course, they're PlayStation guys, and so they were trying. You got to give them props for them trying to discredit. You got to give them props. They was doing everything that they can to try to discredit Game Pass. But I'm going to tell you like this: if Game Pass it doesn't generate money, or if it's only going to just bring filler games, then why would Bethesda go ahead and sign off with it? Why would Ninja Theory sign off with it? Why would all these other companies sign off with it? We could see maybe a consumption, compulsion games, but why would everybody else that has that's significant, that has a significant
and it was pretty
purpose,
adamant about being independent.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's saying, look, and Xbox isn't done. They're going to get more. So if this whole Sega thing is real, I don't think Sega is going to get bought. I just can't. That would just completely blow my mind. Even though that's the perfect marriage,
I think it's going to get bought by somebody.
But this is the thing right here. Xbox will be in a position where no other gaming company in the history of gaming has ever been. They could be your third party, your first party, and your streaming all in one damn, you know what I'm saying? All in one. And then the last point I want to make is this: they can play hardball for the first time in a long time with Sony. They could be dicks, or they can sit there and they can try to play kumbaya. Either way, they're winning because they have Bethesda on their team. What I would do if I was sitting in that seat, I would say this: okay, you know what? This Starfield game's gonna probably take another 2-3 years to come out. We're gonna hold on to that. Don't worry about that, Sony. You're not gonna get that one. You know what I'm saying?
That's the rumor right now. That is the rumor.
There's another Sky. I mean, well, Skyrim. I think they're already in negotiations, so I think that's gonna go somewhere. But this is what they could do, even with Sony, even with Skyrim supposed to be coming out sometime, I guess maybe in the next 2 years. This is what Xbox can still do. You know what? We can put that on Game Pass in day one, and it comes out on Xbox and PC, and it'll be a year timed exclusive. Then we'll give it to you, PlayStation, and then you're gonna have to pay full price. Xbox can play hardball for the very first time. People have this concept. It's like, well, Xbox. Phil has said Phil is nice. He do care about the gamers. He cares about everybody. They have relationships. But the one thing that Phil is also said is that, look, we ain't gonna ever play this game again. We're not going to allow you to dictate what we can do, especially as our pockets is deeper than anybody else that's in this from PlayStation or Nintendo. We got the deepest pockets. We're sitting on 40 million. We can pull that shit out the couch and just throw it at somebody else, which we're going to do. So again, you better understand where we are. So they are going to play hardball. PlayStation is not going to get some of these titles that's going to be coming out. And if they do get some of these games, they can play hardball and do the 1 year exclusive thing like PlayStation has done to Xbox, and that shit would be insane. And Xbox can even be dirty and say, you know what? Nintendo has been so generous to us. We'll do some stuff. We'll put the Doom guy on Smash Brothers. You know, we can put Skyrim guy on there. That's gonna, you know what, we can put some shit on there and do that. And then for everybody else that's on PlayStation, they got to pay full price for it. You better watch out. Xbox ain't playing no more. That's
it. Nintendo and Xbox have a really good relationship right now.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've been playing well for a couple years now. Let me hit up some super chats real quick because they came in hard and heavy, and I want to make sure we get up to date here. So shout out to Sir X-Man. He says, last time I'm gonna preach some truth. I have a Switch also and games on my xCloud on my phone look actually better than the Switch game. I'm officially done talking about xCloud tonight. Stadia is done. Yo, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for the support. Definitely appreciate that. I got a couple more here. And again, of course, Sir X-Man, man, he is going all out tonight. Thank you so much, brother, for the support. I definitely appreciate it. He says Bethesda could remake Chronicles of Riddick, Butcher Bay.
Oh.
What?
They can bring us back to Pat.
Yo, for real. We have the friendly neighborhood Blue Shell. He says, sorry to go off topic. Microsoft could try to get a partnership with Falcom to help them localize their games in exchange for putting their JRPGs on Xbox. Dude, Blue Shell, this is what I'm going to say about this. Because this acquisition came out of nowhere and because nobody even thought to predict something this big, I think all doors are pretty much open right now. I think a lot of you can kind of let your imagination run wild, which is kind of like another topic that we are going to talk about as well with another company in terms of this whole thing. But this news was so big and so almost unbelievable at one point in time that it's pretty much like anything is possible now. You can say just about anything and people will be like, yo, that could happen right about now. That's how big this was, man. And shout out to you, brother, for supporting the channel. I always love seeing you guys in the chat. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat right now. If you haven't done it yet, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Let people know where you are hanging out this Thursday. You're hanging out with the next podcast panel. And we're going in on the monumental news that dropped this week in terms of gaming. Now, I think I'm going to go on to the next person, K-Mega, with this. I did have another question because we keep talking about, like how good this is for Microsoft. So, if I don't come back around to you on this, because I'm going to try to blend it in with everybody else, kind of interrupt me and say, hey, I didn't get to talk about that. But
I will. Yeah,
all right,
that's fine.
Cool.
Let somebody else come in and talk.
Yeah, definitely. Crispy seems really excited right now. I gotta
he
go.
Does. Crispy's over here.
I gotta go and get some. It's time to get some of that hashtag Crispy Truth. So Crispy, again, I want to know what you think in terms of how big this acquisition was, and with that, because you heard K-Mega, and he talked a lot about Xbox, and of course, he talked a lot about the gamers, because at the end of the day, that's who we care about right there. We talk about this stuff to let the gamers get informed, let the gamers know what's going on. So, you got to put that in there. But I also got to ask, why is this such a good thing for Bethesda? Like, everybody's looking at Xbox and why it's good for Xbox. I want to hear like why this was really good for Bethesda as well. And I know K-Mega kind of touched on that a little bit. But kind of fill that out as well, bro.
Well, you got to understand that, number one, the whole purchase itself, okay, Phil's going to sit in front of Satya and be like, okay, this is what I want to do. All right. And you have to understand that Phil's been at Xbox for 25 plus years. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He has started from almost the ground up in that company. He has watched generations go by, everything else. And he says, okay, you're all in on Game Pass. Well, here's what Bethesda brings. They bring us 8 studios, not counting the secondary studios that do the support stuff. And they bring Orion server tech. Okay, so streaming tech on top of that.
Nice.
And then you have some kind of VR, which I mean, Bethesda's been in a battle. Well,
Crispy,
long
back
time.
up real quick. For people who don't know, Bethesda had their own type of streaming technology. And Crispy, what was that called again?
Orion streaming tech.
Okay, so in other words, with that streaming tech, they can always blend that in with xCloud if they needed to help with any type of latency or any type of glitches or anything like that.
Actually,
right?
The biggest word is bandwidth. Okay,
bandwidth.
So they basically and they said this in 2018, and the rumor is that's when Microsoft started talking to them. Okay, like fully talking to them about, hey, let's do something here. The point is that there is something for, different aspects. Like you get these great first party games. Yes, Bethesda hasn't been in the highest of regards right now after 2 years, but we all remember Skyrim, and it's already rumored to get a Series X update and everything else. I'm sure people are going to jump back into that real quick. I'm also hearing Fallout 4 is going to be the next one they announce. Which is once they do that, it's going to be Series X launch window, and they're going to be day and date in Game Pass, and they're going to look incredible compared to what they did. What Bethesda has done with Microsoft over the years is you go and say, okay, they saw the writing on the wall. They started going into streaming tech. They put years upon years of R&D into that to figure out all the algorithms and everything else of how they're going to approach it. They are using software-based technology. It's not hardware-based. So hypothetically, you have those servers that are going to become Series X servers very soon. They're working on it right now, probably as we speak. And then you have this software-based system, which Microsoft paid for that R&D technically, but they didn't have to do it themselves, because from what I hear, the people that actually, joined Orion when it first came out, it was pretty damn good. It was almost xCloud already. And this was just based off of just Bethesda games, and it was completely software based. This is something that, Microsoft is saying, okay, a lot of areas, and especially the US, have low bandwidth, I mean, you deal with it all the time, dude. Like there's issues, you know what I mean? Like there's so many different companies doing so many different
things.
Gotta
love Optimum, man.
But dude, I've dealt with it. You know what I mean? Like I've dealt with it. Like, I've paid out of my ass for Xfinity and Cox, and like they're basically the same company. Cox.
You're just making Ped's ears like twitch, like every other word right now.
Because it's true. Like, dude, like, what do you pay for internet?
Too much. That's all.
That is not the topic.
Yeah.
That's the point. Like, they bought them for multiple things. It wasn't just one thing. They're going the streaming route. They get that. But you can implement that Orion tech into the entire streaming network. They can do that just software-wise. And Microsoft is a software company.
Well, Crispy, what I'm saying is with that technology, what I was like, try to like kind of lead to is, the game studios and everything is absolutely great. But I think the pot got sweetened with that technology when it came to, Satya, running this by Satya as well, because, game studios and stuff that could very well happen without this tech, but having that tech there as that cherry on top, I think was a good kind of like seal the deal type extra that made it viable.
Well, I mean, they paid $7.5 billion. I mean, come on. This is, and you go and say the only other one was what, Tencent was the highest gaming acquisition, and it was a mobile gaming platform. I can't remember the name of it, but they make like Clash of Clans and all that BS.
Yeah.
So, obviously mobile gaming is there. It's in the fruition. People play them. There's 3 billion gamers and only less than 1 billion play on console. So what I say is that Microsoft is using all of their hands in the cookie jars again, dude. They are doing it again. And this is Phil. I'm gonna tell you right now, if Phil wasn't the head of Xbox, this Bethesda thing would not have happened. It wouldn't have. I watched that interview with Larry, Pete Hines, and Todd Howard.
Yo, Todd Howard was high AF during that interview. By the way,
yeah, he was. He looked like he had the he had
that Visine wasn't working too well.
That squinty eye type thing, and he was, he was sitting there, and at first you're looking at him and you're like, well, does he really want this? And that's why I like Pete Hines, because he's probably the one that like pushed everything to happen, because it's the devil at my door. The devil's at my door, right? Mm-hmm. So do I pick the devil I know, or do I pick the devil I don't know? And they know Microsoft so well. Microsoft helped them port games to console.
Well, their first console game was on Xbox.
Exactly. So you have to understand that the devil I know is better than the devil I don't know. And they saw, because of the failings of Fallout 76 and everything else, this hurt the company. And I think we're going to see Fallout 76 get a following, because I think they're going to get rid of a lot of things that were a problem in that game. And I think because you have a game that's like completely server based, now it's going to be on the servers on Xbox. I think it's going to change the game, and it's going to make it much better. And this is, they want, at the end of the day, just like Phil wants, is gamers to be able to touch these great games. And some of them you might not, as a PlayStation gamer or whatever, feel great about, but there is somebody that likes them. And that is the beauty of it. The development process is not easy. You have to understand that.
It's getting harder and harder every generation, man. More and more expensive too.
And you see people, like you saw that Ninja Theory trailer. The only reason why that happened is because Microsoft gave them the money, gave them the backing, and said, take your time. And now that Bethesda has been bought, everybody's like, oh, Bethesda. Nobody's looking at these other developers that they've purchased that are still working on games as we speak. And it's just funny. Like, get the narrative out of your head. Xbox has games now. You might not see them this year. We lost Halo Infinite. Sad day. But they got the right people working on it again. You know what I mean? And we might not see it until next holiday. But that's the point. Like, Bethesda was like a complete, like, hey, we're going to do this because we see the writing on the wall of what Amazon is about to do. They people don't realize that these guys probably have people that are like, hey, this is going to happen. Just letting you know. You know what I mean? Like, This is the age of social media. Like, I have people all the time that say stupid stuff to me, and I think it's stupid, and then all of a sudden it comes to fruition. And that's the point. Like,
your brother's on this panel. We tell you stupid stuff, and then you're like, yeah, no way. And then it comes to fruition, and you're like, oh my goodness. And then you're like, oh man, I have to get into a hangout with these guys every Thursday, and they can tell me, I told you, I told you.
But that's the point. Like, we're all gamers. I feel like Xbox is in the right path, at least with Phil at the helm. Like, if Phil retires or something, like, then I'm worried. You know what I mean? But as of right now, Phil knows what gamers want, and he also wants to grow the brand. I mean, you have to be in his position, you have to grow the brand. And this is the way to do it. Take Bethesda, take all of their great games that they've made over the years, You can drop them in the Game Pass as you want. Doom Eternal's coming. I still play Doom Eternal, by the way, Bob. But that game, if you're
Game
not
is
playing on
fire.
easy, that game is tough,
That game
bro.
is
You know what I'm
fire.
saying?
Yeah, dude,
but-
the difficulty goes up real quick.
Yeah. So that game is tough, but it's enjoyable. It's visually appealing. That is a proprietary engine that they're using, by the way. So a lot of people forget, like, they bought everything. And the one thing that Phil said in that interview is that we want them to continue to do what they're doing.
Yeah,
and I think
they're keeping kind of like the Bethesda name when it comes down to it, like, you know, like how you see Microsoft Game Studios. From what I read, they're going to keep it Bethesda. There might be a little Microsoft or a little Xbox somewhere in there somewhere, but they're keeping that name. Like, yeah,
that was the whole point. Like Phil is down with this because he wants the creators to create what they want. And in a game like Bleeding Edge that most of us don't like, K-Mega loves it. That's what I go and say.
Bleeding Edge, shut your mouth, fucker.
That's what I go and say. You know what? Like a lot of people, you know, wouldn't like Fall Guys, but a lot of people love it. Like you never know what the hit's gonna be. So why not let it happen and see what happens? And that's it.
Nice. Yo, real quick, shout out to Sir X-Man. He says Microsoft and Bethesda just made my backlog bigger. Brother, you have not seen anything yet. One thing I want to throw in here real quick, because a lot of people, you know, when this first came out, of course, a lot of people were shocked. And then all of a sudden, people started talking about multiplats and, you know, whether games are going to be exclusive. And I know K-Mega definitely touched on this in the beginning. And even Phil Spencer said it will be a case-by-case basis. I don't see them taking, like, you know, Skyrim, even like Elder Scrolls. I don't see them taking them out in terms of multiplats, but I do see them using these studios for, you know, a game like Starfield, which is a brand new game. And again, K-Mega said this. I see them kind of locking that down as an Xbox console exclusive / PC, and of course Game Pass, stuff like that. I can definitely see them doing. But isn't it crazy? And this is why I'm saying this to the chat out there. Isn't it crazy to think about Microsoft will make more exclusive games while also putting games out that are multiplat and making money off of other platforms as well for the gamers who are going to buy that game on those other platforms, whether it's the Switch, the rumored kind of like Switch Pro that's going to be coming out, the PS5, stuff like that. Like, when it comes to funding new games and stuff, I think Microsoft and Xbox are not going to have to worry about anything. They'll be like, oh, you want to make that? Yeah, go ahead. No, we got everything rolling over here. That last multiplat you made, yo, we sold a ton of that across all borders. You see what I'm saying? I think that is something that is really interesting to me. So for anybody that's downplaying this whole thing and saying, well, they're just going to continue to make multiplats, Phil Spencer already said case-by-case basis. I think those newer games, there's definitely more of a chance for exclusive kind of like games, Xbox / PC, Game Pass, exclusively there. But
think about this.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say this. Think about this for a second. By the time that this Starfield game will come out, you'll have. Just think about if this is like a 2023 lineup going into 2024, where you have or I should say 2022 going to a 2023.
Okay. Where
you have Avowed, you'll have the AAA from you'll have Fable, you'll have the Outer Worlds Part 2, you'll have a new Fallout,
Hellblade.
you'll have also Fable, and then you'll have whatever Exile is making. That's going to be a AAA RPG. Yeah. Like, bro, and then we're not even talking about State of Decay 3 or what Compulsion Games are going to be doing with their game. what Double Fine is going to be coming out with. Like,
dude, it's insane to think about, man.
It's insane. Like, in that 2-year span, they can hit on all cylinders just like PlayStation did in those 2 years with God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn. But have more games out in the wild. And they could, and if they choose to, they could say, all those games are exclusive to the Xbox PC community, to the Xbox. Because one thing that I don't think people really realize is that, because they say, well, it's going to PC, so therefore, I could just go and get a PC. Okay, that's fine and well and good. But what Xbox is saying to people who are primarily console gamers, it's not going to be on PlayStation. It's going to be on Xbox and PC. So for the people that don't already have a PC, they got to make a choice. Do I go ahead and buy me a $3,000-$4,000 PC, or can I just go ahead and buy this at that point in time? Probably $450 console.
Or you can subscribe to Game Pass on your mobile phone.
Well, yeah, but I'm just
or the Series S, which would
you can get or you can get the Series S, but by that time, in another 2 years, it'll probably be $250.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, just think about that. Like, the roadmap that they have done is so complete and so ahead that they got everything rolling, and all they need is just one more studio. Just need like some Japanese backing. That's all they need. That's all that's left, because you got the shooters, you got and fighters, which what I'm saying. Killer Instinct now it's a must. Killer Instinct 2 is a must, because if you're going to do all this, you got to touch on every genre. So my propositions or my expectations of Killer Instinct 2 coming is now up to 90%, because all they have to do now is just touch onto the Japanese market, and if they pull in a Sega or something else, you know what I'm saying?
You are dying to talk about that, bro.
I am hyped, man. Like, bro, we have been waiting for this moment. We have talked about this moment for years, and they didn't want to listen.
Other people have to talk about this.
Yo, K Mega.
Oh, you ain't talking about this? I thought everybody talked.
No. K Mega. K Mega. And I just real quick.
I'm sorry.
I just real quick want to shout out to everybody who has been with us from the beginning. Yo, shout out to you guys. You guys have heard about this stuff coming for a long time now, and to see it actually at the front door, you know what I'm saying? Like that package from Amazon. It's at the front door. It's delivered. It's right there. You know that feeling, man.
My boy Mizzle said Mega gets 2 turns. My bad, though. I thought that was done. I was in there talking to my wife, and then I was like, oh,
can I say something real quick? And 10 minutes later, you still talking?
Yo,
I'm done. I'm sorry.
Let me hit these super chats real quick, and then I will be going. I will be going to dark. So, yo, shout out to John B. I think he might be related to the Don.
Doesn't even look anything like John B.
Shout out to John B. Hit up that super chat, brother. Thank you again for the support. He says Microsoft don't need Sony. 120 million compared to 3 billion mobile and PC users. That could be subbed to Game Pass. I hear you on that, brother. But you got to think about what Phil Spencer said. I do think, when it comes down to it, Phil Spencer, he does know his business, but he's also a nice guy. That's another thing you got to think about. And I know a lot of people are out there like, oh, you got to be cutthroat. No, you can do what's best for the business and still have olive branches out there, and I think that's what's going to happen. So shout out to you, brother. And shout out to Sir X-Man one more time. My golfing buddy, he said, no one said nothing when Xbox has to wait for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Yo, you're speaking facts, bro. At that point in time, that was a good deal. That was a good deal. Get stuff done like that. But what does my brother Next Gen say? Be the behemoth that you are. I think they just did that. Yeah, I think they just did that. But let's go to my West Coast brother, Dark. Yo, Dark, big news this week. Big news, man. Nobody
saw this coming. Dude, it froze the entire industry
for a day. Let's be real. Let's be real. I like, and you know, I know there are some things about Bethesda. They're known for putting out like buggy games and stuff like that. I'm looking at this now, like they got Xbox and Microsoft's wallet behind them. I think they're gonna be a lot smoother. But I'm getting ahead of myself, dude. What did you think about this announcement? You're already like, dang it. Like, what did you think, man, when this came down the road? What does this mean for Xbox, for Bethesda, and for the gaming industry, bro?
This is huge, but not in the same way that Crispy or K Mega thinks.
Okay.
This is huge because of the other studios that they got. Tango Gameworks, id Software. What's the couple?
My
of the
favorite
other
is
ones?
id out of
Arcane.
all of it. id
Arcane.
Software. Arcane.
You know, we get the picture, right? It was about those games that those studios really intrigued me about this entire um this entire uh, acquisition, because these games have been better than than most of the Bethesda games that have come out that's been published by them and developed by them in the past couple of years. I mean, look at Doom Eternal. Those games are juggernauts right now. They're huge games. I mean, yeah, granted they weren't you know, at first people were like, I don't know about this, I don't know about them going this route with it, and then it came out and people just love Doom. I mean, you and me,
Doom is sick.
you and me, we love
Doom is
Doom.
sick.
Doom Eternal, Doom.
Hell yeah.
Dude, we love those games. And then also, you know what? One other game I forgot as well was Wolfenstein, which is by Machine Games. Shout out to Duke Togo 13 for putting that out there. But yeah, I think you know, Machine Games is a huge one too, because you know, the last two well, the Wolfenstein New Order and Wolfenstein New Colossus was fantastic. I think even like Old Blood was good. Young Blood kind of fell off a little bit. I get why it did. I get why people weren't really too excited about it. I get why it was kind of like, you know, because it wasn't BJ Blazkowicz. Like it was just, you know, his daughters and stuff like that, and people were just kind of like, They didn't really like the playful banter between the two sisters and stuff like that.
Oh
So I
my
get
goodness.
it, but for me, I like that game. I like that game.
Well,
I
it was a
I've
spin-off
liked
anyway, right?
Right. I've liked every single Wolfenstein that's come out since New Order. I mean, those games are so much fun, man. Those games, you know, you want to play games that are fun, play those games. Play Doom. Doom is so much fun, man. Like,
oh yeah.
Like those games just scream fun to me. And then, you know, of course, you know, Arcane. They've made they made Prey. They made Dishonored. You know, they've come out with some games that are just, you know, I think even better than are even better than Fallout. Fallout 4 was, to me, was garbage. I did not like that game one bit. I honestly, like, Bethesda as a developer, I haven't liked them since Skyrim. Like, Skyrim was probably their best one, you know, like Skyrim was fantastic. Skyrim is still fantastic to this day. I think that's why they still try to make profit off of that damn game. Because they know that that's one of their best games. And that's the problem, is that, like, people aren't looking at all these other games. They're looking at, oh, well, the next Elder Scrolls, you know, they're looking at Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
You got to look at all these other games, man, like Wolfenstein.
Look at the entire package. You know what I'm saying?
The entire package. But, you know, that's the thing. Like, I've lost kind of faith in Bethesda as a developer since what they did with Fallout 76 and what they did with Fallout 4. It hasn't. They haven't really, you know, given me a reason to go and purchase their developed games. But their games that they've published, oh hell yeah, You know, like you know, like that was the most intriguing thing to me, was seeing that. Okay, not only did they get Bethesda, but they got all these other studios that in the past how many years have made some really fantastic games, like
Creative too.
creative games, fun games,
Mhm.
games worthy of being called a game, you know? Like, you know me, like I like that, I like games like Detroit and all that bullshit, but you know, you know me, I like those interactive movies, as you
Yeah,
say,
yeah, yeah.
but
Netflix
these
and chill movies.
yeah, these ones are games, like I can't express that enough. They
Mhm.
are fucking games. Um
Dude, I
and
love hearing you. You are so excited right now. Yo, for
oh dude,
people
I'm absolutely excited. I think honestly, this is the biggest thing for Microsoft in a long time. I think this is huge. I mean, this definitely makes me
would you say since
this more
Gears came
excited.
out?
This makes me this more excited about the Xbox.
Yeah.
It makes me even more excited. I mean, I was already excited for the Xbox because I like having both consoles. Like I'm not one of those guys that's just gonna be like, oh fuck Xbox, fuck PlayStation. I like having them all. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Um, and this just this is uh, the cherry on the fucking cake. Like this is great. But
Dude,
what were you gonna ask me? You were gonna ask me something, right?
well, no, real quick, because I can tell you like I said, you're excited, huge news, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you at least peruse social media, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I gotta ask you what you think about that whole kind of like, I don't want to call it like. I got to put the word multiplat in there. I was going to say multiplat
Mm-hmm.
controversy in terms
Mm-hmm.
of moving forward, but it's not really. I guess kind of like the vagueness on what's going on. Like I think I can read into what's going on, but that's
Yeah.
just my opinion. What do you think in terms
New
of moving
IPs,
forward?
new IPs will be on Xbox. All the other IPs like Doom and all that stuff, that'll be on PlayStation as well, but you'll have to pay for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Game Pass, you're not gonna have to pay for it. That's the beauty of it. I mean, that's the beauty of having this. This kind of solidifies like you having both consoles. Like this almost kind of says, hey, um, you know, your second. I think a lot of people's secondary console this generation is going to be the Xbox or the PlayStation 5. Like a lot of people are just gonna, be going towards those two consoles. I think a lot. I mean, yeah, maybe granted, some people will, go towards Nintendo, but I don't, I haven't seen anything from Nintendo lately that has wowed me or intrigued me at all. So it's like,
Nintendo always, at least software wise, and that makes money because
yeah,
the Wii U happened, and
yeah,
that is what
yeah,
it is.
they'll
But
have software, yeah,
they
but
always sell software, even
yeah,
at the Wii U's lowest point. Whenever first party came out, it
uh,
was gone. It sold
yeah,
millions.
yeah. They'll have that they'll have those IPs that draw people in and make people want to buy it. But
Hmm.
I think this generation is definitely going to change a lot of people's mind about games that they buy and games that they don't buy. you
Mm.
know, like I think a lot of people, they're gonna see that $500 price tag for the Xbox Series X and be like, well, I could pay for this, I could pay for Xbox, $500, get, Game Pass for what, 14.99 a month, and then, have all these Bethesda games, have all these other, games like Fable and things like that. This is definitely something that is incentive to a lot of people, I think, that are going to
Mm.
go towards. I don't think everybody's going to go towards just Xbox and just PlayStation. I think it's going to be a lot of um I personally think that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to start going towards both.
Okay.
And it's going to be interesting. That's why I say every time I look at this next generation of consoles, it's going to be interesting. We're going to see a lot of good games. We're going to see a lot of a lot of things we haven't seen in the past generations.
You know,
and I'm excited for it, man. I mean, how can you not be excited for this shit?
dude,
Like if you're not excited for what Xbox just fucking showed, or just what they just did, shame on you. Shame
Yo,
on you.
Dark, just real quick, because you talk about the excitement, you talk about like all the platforms and stuff, and it's something, and you were on board with us when me, K Mega, and the Don. Now I think we all had different phrases for it, but I said I called it, this generation is going to be the crossroads generation. But we talked about this generation having the most options on where you play your games, and dude, do you see that coming to fruition right now?
Oh, I see it. I've seen it for a while now.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
I mean, this really just solidifies it. Like this acquisition really just kind of takes everything and said, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, Sony's in trouble now," or I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, Xbox, this isn't huge for Xbox or anything like that." And I get, all these people are probably just trolling and just joking around, but at the end of the day, man, you got to realize, like, both of these companies are gonna do well. I mean, let's not beat around the bush, but PlayStation had some really good exclusives this generation. They're gonna have some really good exclusives next generation. And guess what? Xbox is gonna do that same thing. They're gonna do that. I guarantee you almost.
Well, okay.
They're
how about this though? How about this? Because I
their
hear
games
what
are going
you're
to be
saying.
different, but they're going to be good.
I hear what you're
be
saying,
good games.
and I do want to get to Pred as well. But on that note, what company has the most first-party studios?
Oh well, I mean, of course, Xbox does right now.
By
of course,
a lot.
By a lot, yeah.
So
but
what does that
think,
mean? That means
but,
more.
But that's the thing.
content.
I think AAA studios. I think PlayStation has more.
What?
Because if you look at a lot of those studios, are kind of indie studios, like Compulsion. It's not a AAA
Well,
game.
yeah, take
studio.
Compulsion, Double Fine. You can take those and put them to the side. But when you're looking at at Bethesda Softworks, when you're looking at id Software, when you're looking at
the Initiative, you're looking at 343, you're looking at Ninja Theory, but
I would say Ninja Theory. Would say Ninja Theory.
Okay,
dude.
yeah, okay, we can give Ninja Theory. You're looking at you're looking at Coalition, you're looking at Turn 10, you're looking at Playground Games, but you're looking at all the Bethesda stuff, right? But then you also got to go back and look at what PlayStation has, and most of their first party studios are AAA type studios, So I mean, PlayStation's in a good boat. I think Xbox is in a even better boat. I mean, let's face the facts. What Phil did with the Xbox One, this beginning of this generation, is he polished a turd.
Oh,
what I'm saying? He actually, people say you can't polish a turd, but Phil fucking did it. Okay, like Phil did it.
Dominus Maximus.
Yeah,
so
he had that turtle wax and that buffer.
He did it.
I won't say there was. It was.
Well,
it was
I
a
think
turd at that point in time, man.
I think under Don Matrick, it would have gotten worse. To be honest.
Well, that I'll agree with you on, but like at the launch of the Xbox One, I don't think it was necessarily a turd. I think if Don Matrick stayed in power through that, then I would have definitely agreed with you. A year or two down the line, trust me.
No, I would say for me it was a turd because of the fact of implementing that Kinect. I thought that was the most
I love my Kinect.
dumb
you
thing.
Shut your mouth.
I know a lot of people love
Somebody mute this man.
But I think that was the most gimmicky shit they ever done was the Kinect, and then implementing it into their next console when nobody else was kind of doing that same thing.
Why they did that.
It just didn't work with them. It didn't work with them, man. It didn't work for them. It didn't work with them. And guess what? they're better off for not having it anymore. And guess what?
I have to agree.
Mega
They have
bless his
they
little
have
soul. You know what I'm saying?
they've become such a juggernaut since then that who gives a shit about the Connect? You know what I'm saying? like no one cares. They're like, oh, they got Bethesda now, they got this, they got that. They're gonna have, you know, the next Fable. They're gonna be doing more with, you know, all their other studios. We haven't even seen what the initiative has done. Like we haven't even seen it.
Yeah, that
But
is true.
from what they've been talking about, it sounds fucking awesome, you know? From what they've kind of said what it might be or whatever.
Yeah, they haven't really gone into too much detail.
No, they haven't gone into detail.
We are waiting to see, but when they call themselves a quadruple A studio, that definitely raises eyebrows. Now, Dark, if you don't mind, I gotta get the Predator on this.
Oh
man.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right.
I know he's chomping at the bit.
Yeah, well, first off, I want to shout out our brother ATL. I did miss a super chat, and I got to shout out Y9 Power because for some rhyme or reason, my YouTube studio is not letting me see past super chats, so I have to catch them in the chat as they pop up, and I think I've done a pretty good job so far. But Y9 actually helped me out, and he let me know exactly what my brother ATL said in the super chat. So again, thank you for the support, bro. Definitely appreciate it. He said, imagine E3 next year. Dude, you know you really can't say that in social media, but here you can. We have no problem, and I'm imagining it right now.
Wait till E3 then?
Not even wait. Just now, there's no wait till E3. It's imagine. Yeah, and the funny thing,
Bethesda only had their own conference. Just saying.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, so they probably don't have a lot to say, but nah, that is definitely. Already looking forward to it, man. To be honest with you, ATL, and I wasn't even thinking about that until your super chat. So shout out to you, and of course, shout out to Y9 Power for helping a brother out. Sometimes a brother needs help, and it's good that there are people in the chat that will help a brother out. But on that note, I gotta get to Predator. Pred, I hope people. I hope it didn't take too long to get to you. I hope your energy is not deflated right now because I need that classic Predator to let me know what this acquisition means, what it means to the gamer, what it means to the industry. Like, dude, let us know, bro.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a shock when I woke up that morning.
For
so
real. I had to read it twice because I thought somebody was trolling at first.
I was the same. I looked at I forgot who I saw tweeted out first, and I was like, "What?" And I went to my face. I went to my feed and I saw it like this everywhere, and I was like, "Oh my god, everybody's about to today's be a good day." I didn't work at all that day. Like I was at home working. I got nothing done that day. So first off, you know, we talk about all the games and stuff like that, the Quakes, the Elder Scrolls, and
Quake, nice.
You know, all those games that you guys Doom. I mean, all that shit, Fallout, everything. Like obviously, those are huge acquisitions just to get those games under the belt. I mean, it just adds to the portfolio that Microsoft was creating, and then you add Game Pass along with it, and it's a much better value now. The games that are coming up is what I'm concerned about. Not really concerned. Let's say it that way.
What you have your eye on, basically.
Well, yeah, because we're talking about all these other games that have already come out. It's the games coming up that interest me more, and not just the two that are going to PlayStation. But you know, we have those franchises. We know we're going to get sequels to those games and franchises. To me, like the bigger get is what they're working on that we don't know about, because all these studios have other games probably in the works, or they will have some.
Well, no, Spencer said there is unannounced things that he saw as well as announced things, which, you know, Starfield was announced.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
but
we know about Starfield, but like we know about there's going to be another Fallout at some point in time. Obviously, Elder Scrolls and, you know, stuff like that. We know about those games, and like when they've purchased studios, the sell isn't just the games that have been out already in the franchise that have been out. The sell sometimes is the things that they're working on that they're like, we got to get on this. You know, like I'm sure Phil talks to Todd, you know, a lot, and they seem like they're pretty good friends and stuff like that. What I've heard, but I'm sure there's things down the pipeline that we've not seen that are going to be on Xbox only, and they will not go to PlayStation whatsoever.
Yeah.
I think Starfield will eventually they're going to make that an Xbox exclusive, which I think they should. It's going to be so far out, but I think anything in the works now, like Elder Scrolls, I'm sure they'll put on there. I mean, to me, the business part of me starts kicking in.
Yes.
And I'm like, why would you not put it there? Because they have 100 million plus consoles out there or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the fastest way to make your money back. You know, they're paying $70 for that game, you know, and that right there, that sell right there to some of the PlayStation guys. If they see us over here eating off of Game Pass, paying for like $15 a month and getting games like that, and they're dropping 70 for, you know, yuccas a pop. Like,
shout out
like,
to
yeah.
Knoxximus.
To the Knox, yeah, like you're spending like let's okay, look at all the games they have, right? Let's play devil's advocate here. They dropped 3 of those games in a year, and I mean they as in Bethesda. They dropped 3 of the games under that umbrella in a year. That's what $200 and something thousand, $270,000, whatever. $210 you're spending on those games at $70 each, right? And we're spending $15.
Yo, wow.
A year, you know, a month to play those games. Like that eventually is going to make people look at PlayStation with a side eye. Like, dude, like I got it. We got God of War. Thank you. You know, but you know, they got Halo, they got Forza, they got, you know, a Gears. They got these 3 games. They got Fallout 5. They got, you know, Starfield. They got like at some point, you know, it may not happen now. It may not happen this first month, a couple of months, first, maybe not even first year, but at some point in time, they're gonna be like, they're gonna look at that big ass box, that fucking Pog station they got sitting up on their desk, and they're gonna be like, man,
don't talk shit about Sony, man. Come on now.
Pog station, PAWG. You don't know what that is? Look it up.
Sorry, VCS.
But I mean, they're gonna look and they're gonna, and it's amazing. Like as soon as this thing happened, like people are like, oh, I can just play it on PC. You ain't got a fucking PC. Like stop bullshitting. Like you could play it on PC if you have one, but you don't. Most people out there don't have a PC like that. You know, like stop with them. Like there's a few PlayStation guys out there that were like, shit. You know, they just looked deflated, you know, when they saw this, and they're like, man, that's wow. And there's some that were just out there to straight damage control, and those games aren't good anyway. The last Fallout was garbage. I'm like, okay,
for real.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I'll give you that last Fallout was some bullshit. But
dude,
what
they're
about
trying to make
like,
a game as a service, man, and they screwed up big time.
Yeah,
Fallout 3 is one of the greatest games ever made, dude. I'm sorry,
for sure.
Dude.
Skyrim was my shit. You know, I love Skyrim, right?
Yeah.
But like, there's something in that portfolio that you gotta like. At least one of those games. At least one. And you're like, fuck.
That's a key right there too, man.
The thought of that game being exclusive to just Xbox, it just killed the narrative for those people. It killed it. Because like, I mean, luckily, and I said this earlier today, y'all better be glad Phil is there, because he's like, it's okay, we're fine. We'll just hug and put the games over there, and you know, Phil's that guy. If this would have been Donnie, nah, fam, we want all them shits. Like y'all would have never seen those games on PlayStation.
They're all ours now.
Yeah, we getting all this shit, and we gonna make you pay for it. Like he's trying to. Donnie's the type he's trying to kill PlayStation, whereas Phil is like,
honestly, Donnie wouldn't even have done Game Pass.
He wouldn't have done Game Pass, no. But I'm just like think about that for a minute. Like, I mean, at the blink of an eye, Microsoft can be like, you know what? Fuck you. We're taking all this shit. Like, you know, it's what happens when a Chihuahua barks at a German Shepherd for like all the time. The German Shepherd gets tired of him barking at it, and it fucking bites his ass. And that Chihuahua shuts the fuck up. And that's what's been happening this whole fucking generation.
Wow.
Like all you motherfuckers been over here yapping and bipping and backing and stuff like that. And Microsoft was like, you know what? Y'all want to play like this? We're sick of your shit. Don't get Bethesda.
You just called PlayStation.
Yeah, access on Game Pass.
I did call fucking Phil a pimp. You know, just get the baby powder ready. Let's go.
I mean, think about it. Like, I mean, I appreciate this move. I really do. I'm not trying to make it look like it's less than it's a huge get, and I know they got other shit in the works. And I'm glad that they got this company, and I'm glad that they're even playing nice with PlayStation, allowing those 2 games to go there. But after that, wipe your hands of that shit. And look again. This acquisition isn't official until I think what they say like first quarter 2021.
Yeah.
But they're
So
already releasing Doom on there, so I
yeah.
think it's done.
I mean, it's official, but like there's still some paperwork and shit that go down the pipeline and stuff like that.
They have to make sure there wasn't anything illegal like throughout the time. That's exactly what's going on. Something so big that the government has to just make sure everything was like straight.
That's a lot of fucking money, But so don't assume that because once you take acquisition of something, like typically you change something, right? Mm-hmm. So there's how many studios under Bethesda? Not Bethesda, ZeniMax. It was like 7, I think. Maybe 8. Don't expect all of those to stay.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised when they say, okay, we're gonna cancel this one. We're gonna move you here. We're gonna put you under this studio. You guys are gonna make this smaller game, and don't be surprised if they say, hey, okay, we're gonna rearrange some things. So don't start that narrative. But I'm gonna preface it now. It doesn't mean they killed off a studio. Killer Phil always killing studios. Like they're probably doing that as a reorganization at some point in time. So I would expect that to happen at some point, whether it's obviously not now, but once things become official. Don't be surprised if one of these little smaller studios get the axe and they just merge it into something else, or they just rename all of that shit into 2 different studios or something like that. So and put Todd in charge of it, So.
In Todd we trust.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of studios under one umbrella they picked up, and so, I mean, I said this earlier. This is the best off season ever for Microsoft. I look at sports because, if you think about,
dude, it went from so bad with Halo.
No. Hold on.
Okay,
you go from January. Look at the season as far as from January, the beginning of the year until now, right? They got, and imagine if we'd had an E3 this year and all this shit that happened so far would have come out in one fucking day. Imagine all this shit. You got EA Access coming to Game Pass. You got Bethesda that you gained. You've got, all the games they announced at the very beginning of the year. The first of it comprised that into one E3 show, which is what we would have had this year.
Mm-hmm.
That they would have fucking killed it. They would have killed it.
Yeah.
But instead, we had to space it all out the whole fucking year. And so I think this year alone, they've actually gotten people to not buy PlayStation 5s this year. They've changed their mind. They're coming back over to the Xbox side. So those people that left before this get from ZeniMax was the icing on the cake for them, because they might have been on the fence. And Sony's helped because they fucked up a lot of things this year so far too. Yeah. So, when they're looking at on paper, they're like, okay, we got this console that looks like, a Pog. And there's a fat-ass white girl over here, and we got this little small studio, this small Xbox station setup or whatever. They're both ugly, but this one's not as ugly as the other one. And I don't know what's going on with that SSD thing and this whole Spider-Man fiasco, and I don't even know how to fucking swap out my SSD, and I gotta blow on this controller, and you start adding all that shit up, and they're like, maybe I don't need a PlayStation 5 right now.
All right, hold on, guys. He'll be back. Hold on 1 second. I think we might be having technical difficulties here. Can anybody on the panel hear me right now? I cannot hear anybody right now. I don't know what happened. So, real quick, I'm gonna do this super chat, yo. Shout out to Mr. OG White. He said, "You guys are awesome. Keep up the good work." Thank you, brother, so much for that super chat and for those words, man. It definitely means a lot. Let me check what's going on in the chat. Okay, you hear me, but I cannot hear them right now. Can you guys hear my panel? Guys, unfortunately, the Hangout disconnected. I'm just gonna try real quick to start a new one. Hold on 1 second. Bear with me, guys. You know what? Let me just switch this to this real quick. I will be right back. Hangout back up here. You know, when it comes to live shows, for lack of a better term, sometimes shit happens. You know, things can go wrong, and right now, Hangout is not working with me. It really isn't. Now you guys can hear me because the way I have the audio set up is my microphone is plugged into the computer, and whatever my mic is picking up goes straight into OBS. So you don't need the Hangout up to hear me. All right. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but unfortunately, I don't know what was going on. Yo, Jeff Keighley took the power plug. Yeah, I think we were talking too much positive Xbox news, and somebody out there could not take it, and they completely shut down Hangouts. So, oh, it happened to Mooch as well. Okay. Thank you, Y9, for letting me know that. Like I said, man, I try to keep this show as stable as possible, giving you the best visuals that we can give you while, you know, giving you the gaming podcast entertainment and gaming news. And I think we do a pretty good job. Shout out to all you guys for hanging out with us, man. If any of my panel members are in the chat right now, Hangout has completely shut down. I cannot open it back up. Let me just check to see if anybody might have started a new Hangout. Yeah, no. So, guys, yo, thank you, OG White, for that. Yo, Sony hackers, they are trying to stop the truth from coming out. Keep up the good work. When we first started this show, we wanted to have the gameplay in here, and of course, as you can see, we have gameplay we have the winning gameplay for the month, plus new gameplay every Thursday, so this way you guys have something to watch while you're listening to us, if you are that type of kind of like that type of supporter. If you like having something to actually see while we are talking about the gaming news, and that's, you know, we started this years ago. I think it was like 3 years ago. We were basically the first podcast in this community to do gameplay while we were live for the podcast. So yeah, guys, when it comes down to it, everybody on the panel, in the description below, if you want to know how to follow them on Twitter, definitely do that. It's in the description below. If you want to know about YouTube channels, there are links in the description below. Now, when it comes down to it, K-Mega has an awesome YouTube channel. Definitely hit the link in the description. Check out that channel if you haven't. It is the home of the GRG podcast, which goes live every Friday. You can follow K-Mega on Twitter. I believe it's at K-Mega4 on Twitter. So to see exactly what he's talking about, he is out of Twitter jail. He was falsely accused. He had some false allegations going on. So definitely follow him over there. Yo, our brother Crispy Bomb, he is on multiple podcasts. Yo, Crispy, what is up, bro? Uh-oh. Oh, all right. He opened a new Hangout. Hold on. I'm going there. Oh, I gotta go through Google. Sign in. Next. Guys, give me a second. You're listening. You're listening to me sign into Google right now. I hope you don't mind. There we go. I am getting in there now. Oh my goodness. They're making me sign in multiple times, guys. Bear with me, bear with me. But it's good to have people here listening to me jabber while I type. All right. And nobody's in here. It says error. Guys, unfortunately, I cannot get it going. I couldn't even jump in. So, yo, shout out to the panel. You guys did an absolutely amazing job. I'm sorry. I tried to get into K-Mega's Hangout, and it wouldn't let me. It said error. I'm going to have to go in and see what's going on. Yo, shout out to my panel. Again, I apologize, guys. Yo, follow Dark Optimus. Follow Crispy Bomb. Of course, Predator H2O. And K-Mega. Follow them there on Twitter. Links are in the description below, as well as YouTube channels and such. Guys, it has been an awesome show, and I really wish I had the rest of the panel here to kind of wind this down. But, you know, the show must go on, so I am going to end the show the way I do every week. Guys, we will see you next week for the next podcast. Sorry for the hiccups, guys. We'll do our best to make sure it doesn't happen next week, yo. Have a great night, everybody.